All right, let's bring up our guest for today, y'all. I'm so excited. So excited to be bringing our guest up onto the stage today. Let's give it up for Miss Erica Ford. Yay! Erica, how are you?
I'm doing great. I am definitely doing great. And loving everything you say.
Erica, you know I'm a fool. You know I'm a fool. So
Nah,
Erica,
intelligent Black queen.
there we go. Y'all heard that?
Smart funny.
So, Erica, I know you as an incredible organizer and just all around great person. Your bio on Instagram reads architect of national anti-gun violence movement, creator of NYC crisis management system, force behind violence reduction and Life Camp Inc., and global peace doctor. And we are going to be talking about your book today, The Peace Doctor's Playbook, again, which is available. It is available. So tell me about, well, actually first, because people like to, you know, and it's fair. People want to know like where are people from. So I just gave your bio. Mind you, Erica done won all these awards. Okay, all the awards. But tell us what it is about this work that keeps you grounded in it and still being committed to it.
December 12th, 1987 is when I took my first step into wokeism, as they say, right? I went to a rally up in Goshen, New York, where a mother had organized a rally around her sons being attacked in a local jail. And they were being hosed down and beat by correction officers dressed in KKK outfit, right? And at that same time, a young lady was raped up there, and they had a big rally on December 12th. And everyone who was someone in the Black movement at that time, which I had no idea even existed, was there. I was actually on that day going to go take the test to be a crooked cop. Yes, my whole intentionality was to become a crooked cop, and so that I could let the local drug dealers, I had this whole TV imagination that I was going to let them know when the police were coming. And
wait. When you said crooked cop, I just thought you were referring to cops as crooks. You're like, no, I planned to be a cop for the purpose of helping crooks.
Yes, that was my intention. I had two desires at that time. I was going to be Whoopi Goldberg or a crooked cop. And so I was supposed to take the police test that day, and I met Viola Plummer. And I went to that rally, and my life has never been the same. I realized the struggle of Black folks in America was more than being fly and going to Jack the Rapper and different concerts and parties.
Wait, please tell them about Jack the Rapper. Some of these people, they don't know. Please tell them about Jack the Rapper.
First of all, when you look, and I don't know what happened to Fat Joe yesterday or the day before, the other day when he woke up and thought Puerto Ricans invented hip hop, right? But
yeah, I mean, they were there. They were a part of things. You know, Crazy Legs, of course, but
you named one people out of 100, right? But yes, I was there too. And actually, Fat Joe's first concert was at my Tupac concert in 1994.
Flex.
At Fat Joe. Oh yeah, Flex. I got the receipts. And so, but I say all of that to say is that we had a culture of fun, right? We just used to have fun. We just used to, you know, there was concerts and conferences that brought us all together in the hip hop culture to learn about it, to create it, to build it. And we were outside in a real sense of a way, you know, in a real sense of a way, having fun. And that was my whole life, was about having fun. Salt and pepper, I'm the paprika of Salt and Pepper. And, you know, it's just like, that's all it was. It wasn't nothing else. But then I realized that a Black consciousness and that we had a struggle, You know, we had a struggle for our people. We had a struggle for young people who were dying because of the crack epidemic in the 80s and the 90s, whose parents were going to jail for 30 and 40 years. You know, and the ironic thing is their great grandchildren now are going to jail for 90 and 70 years, right? And so when we look at this draconian system that we've been living under, I think what keeps me going is the idea of freedom, you know, and freedom in its real sense for our children, freedom in our sense for our elders who have fought so long and so hard to be free, as you just talked about some jewels about Christmas and the ability to escape. And that's what holiday is for people, right? It's an escape from the reality of the oppression of society. And so the Peace Doctors Playbook, you know, I knew that there was things that I gave young people. There was jewels that I gave young people. There was guides that I gave young people. There was tools that I gave young people to help, you know, just think and be intentional about life. And so I put it in a book. And, you know, I called it the Peace Doctors Playbook. And so I think that people, it will be a definite tool needed. You know, we all try to, and, you know, one of the things I realized, I have on D. Ham's jersey, right? Damar Hamlin, number 3. And my nephew is right there who didn't make it off the field, right? He just like Damar Hamlin passed out after a game. And my nephew, 16, he never woke back up. And so
sorry to hear that.
when we that's the process that we call life. Life is included with death. But this book is like the oxygen mask, right? For us to put on. It's like our human defibrillator to pump love back into our hearts, to put hope back into our souls. Because a lot of times we feel hopeless. We feel totally demoralized and defeated. And so, you know, if I have an ability to give someone some ideas and some advice and mentorship on how you can make it past whatever that is you're trying to make it past, the fact that you don't have gifts to give to your kids today, right? The fact that your loved one is not here, the fact that there's so many facts that don't make your life happy today, you know, use the Peace Doctors Playbook as that oxygen mask.
What took you so long to do this?
Because y'all be keeping it busy. Y'all kept me so busy. Like I was addicted to work. And that is the other reason why I wrote it, right? Because I almost died last year, right? That I wouldn't have been here to even talk about an idea of writing the book if I didn't get that oxygen mask. And so I said, I can't wait another second. I can't wait. And I have to give people their oxygen mask because we work too damn much. We work too much. We worry too much. We think too much. We don't, you know, really enjoy life in its any kind of way.
Just to give you a heads up, at the end of this, I will give you the stage to say whatever you need to say to the people. Okay, so that's like this is a new show, so I'm just figuring out like things that I want to do on a regular basis, but I want to give the guests always like the stage, the mic, to then do their final proclamation. So here we are in 2025. Folks are anticipating, of course, with this new regime, this man, Trump and his cronies, really making life very difficult for the United States and the world. Yes. Do you have any thoughts on how to manage this?
Well, he was here before, and there's been worse. You know, believe it or not, we were slaves. You know, you talked about a point in time where we were sold. We were the gifts. Right? We were the ornaments on the tree, right? And so when you look back at our lineage, right, our generational trauma, we have tools, right? We have tools to organize. We have tools to bring our community stronger because all politics is local, right? Even though New York, whoo, ouch.
Right.
But we can't give up hope on organizing. We can't give up hope on freedom. I think that, I personally, think that we've been living under oppression and racism since I've been alive. And my father died in this war that was made up. It was a made up war. And so my whole life was disrupted by not Trump, but some other folks. And Democrats, when I ran for office here locally, they terrorized the people that supported me. To one of them, to the point where Democrats. It wasn't like there's not Republicans over here, and they're Black, right? And I'm just saying that to say is that in every group of people, there's somebody who doesn't do righteousness, right? And so we have to learn how. And some of them might be your family, some of them might be the person you say you love, some of them might be your children, right? Unfortunately, you don't know what you're raising, and so you have to speak intentional. You have to be intentional. And that's the whole purpose of me doing the playbook, is because we can't just float through life. We can't just float through, we want our kid to be conscious. We can't float through, we want freedom, right? We have to work intentionally for everything that we want, everything. If you don't want Trump to be a sore in your life, there's things you're going to have to do, right? Things you're going to have to do, right? And so
I think that's the thing that a lot of people find themselves unsure of, what the things are that they have to do. We have some questions in the chat. Joni asks, how can we organize around gun control measures when this government is bought and sold? That's
so,
a great question, Joni.
I've been organizing around gun violence because what is gun control, right? There's guns all over my neighborhood, and I don't know who controls them. Right. And so the intentionality is, what do you want? You want people not to die from guns. Right. And so if there's a gun in your house, lock it up. If there's a gun that your child has, check their book bags, check their friends, check the things that they're communicating about, check what they're doing on social media, check your children's heart, check your loved one's heart. That's gun control. Right. Because who is controlling the guns in my neighborhood? I don't know. They've been here since I was a kid, and they've killed a lot of people I love, right? But I've dedicated my entire life to stopping gun violence, and I've created a system that addresses gun violence from the disease perspective. And if we put more emphasis on the people who pick up the gun as a result of their trauma and their pain, then we could get further in controlling the guns.
Is that question asked to you often? Because the way you just got us all together.
You know what happens? There's two worlds, right?
Right.
There is mass shootings in this world, right? That is increasing without a doubt, right? And there's everyday violence.
Yeah.
And it's bred by the poverty and oppression of our people. And so there's millions of dollars being put in gun control, right?
Yeah.
Billions. It's an uneven playing field to save Pookie on the corner, right?
Yeah.
So the answer is from my heart, that we have to put a human life to that trigger, right? And if we're going to put a human life to it, then we got to do human things.
You know what, though? That's so so we always hear the people who are in support of the NRA or in support of gun sales, etc. We always hear them say it's not the gun killing people, it's the people. But there's never any effort beyond that to do what you're doing, right? There's no effort to say, and so we should be putting money to this the same way that we are putting legislation to that. That's the thing that's missing. And it's missing in the halls of, politics, but people like you are doing the work on the ground to mitigate their lack of care where they're also getting money. We have another question. Miss Laisha says, how do we organize when we hate ourselves? Oh, Amanda is our gym, yet we don't know to value her. I actually didn't see that part, but they do be, they be mean to me, Erica. Child, they be
but
like
for
your girl. That's why when you said Democrats, I was like, because they tried to ruin my life.
Yeah. But like it says, when we hate ourselves, right? And okay, the birds are flocking east.
That was birds? I was like, is that music?
They're coming for you, Amanda. They're coming to save you. But when we hate ourselves, right, we get caught up in a cycle, right? And so a lot of people, they don't stop and think. They're robots to whatever culture, whatever society, whatever the news click, whatever clickbait is happening in this world. And so we organize because we are committed to change, right? And a lot of the stuff that you stand for and you speak is change. And most people don't want change. Most people don't want to think. They just want to do. And they don't want challenge. They don't want to be questioned. They feel that you should work within their system and do what they say, and your time will come. And we'll tell you how to celebrate your time when it comes. And, you know, I've never been that person either. I've always been, you know, somebody that has been organized against and you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I've learned to stop giving them value, right? I've learned to stop giving them value over my life, and just like, what are the things that I want to achieve, and how do I see achievement? What is success for me? You know, what is fun for me? What is life? What is love? And I don't look for, you know, for approval from anyone. And I'm, you know, so yes, we're human beings, but they can't value me because they'll never understand my purpose.
But then how do we organize? Like, do we just ignore those people and organize with the people who get it?
Correct. You got to win the conscience over, right? And very few people get it. So the other thing is, right? I said December 12th, 1987. That's 37 years, right? That's older maybe than some people who are watching, right? And so for 37 years, I've been committed to struggle. And in 37 years, nothing has been easy. Nothing has been easy. I've been arrested hundreds of times, right? I've seen many people get killed in many different ways, right? And so when we talk about commitment to something other than ourselves, that's real, right? And so when we're organizing, the first thing that we have to understand is that the people are unconscious. Harriet Tubman said, I would have freed more people if they only knew they were slaves, right? And so people today don't know that they're slaves. They don't know that they're living in racist America.
No.
They want something different because everybody wants access to something they can't have. You know, even today, right? People are around America spending money they don't have, buying gifts they don't need for kids who sometimes don't, and adults who don't even deserve it. You know?
Because it's the time,
Right.
I'm not, you know, when I had I would love to have you on the show. You were like, I was like, but you know, it's Christmas, so you know, we can do another day. You were like, I don't.
Yeah, my mother loved Christmas. She loved Christmas. We busted her bubble when we no longer celebrated Christmas.
Well, this is the first Christmas that I'm not spending with my mother in 43 years.
Wow.
You know? And I just was like, yeah, I'm good, homie. I was like, you acting up. The world is acting up. I'm going to just be at the house. I'm going to go to the movies. We have one more question from the audience. Virgin Poppy says, how do we use the blueprint of history to intentionally undo the American settler colony and create a world that exists on the other side of capitalism, imperialism, and white supremacy?
Yeah, but I think that person can answer that question, right?
But they want to hear you because because you are a police doctor.
So if you talk about intentionally, right? Intentionally, you're leaving America if you want to do something like that, right? You're going to leave America because that's not going to happen in right now. And there's people organizing, right? There's people organizing all over America for liberation and freedom. They don't participate in the American system. They do not participate in all of the things that, we call fun in society, right?
Mhm.
Every day, like even today, they are organizing and fighting against oppression. And so you can attend continual meetings with folks who are aligned with your values and really put in that work.
Yeah.
What does that mean, put in that work? That means no shopping, no spending, like really identifying the Achilles heel of what it is, the issue, and bringing it down, right? Or you can, I don't know where that individual is, right? But you
Virgin Poppy, where you at? Tell us where you at in the chat.
Right. You can, there's young people who are seeing the world different and don't know what to do and how to get there, right? So you can begin to shift their mindset. You can begin to bring them together, right? You can begin to engage in things like this young lady says, no Amazon, right? And that's why I'm promoting the book on Barnes and Noble. I'm not promoting the Amazon sales at all, because the folks are on strike,
Yeah.
right? They want quality work. They want quality health care, right? And they're entitled to that.
Did you
But
do a book tour? Are you physically able to do a book tour?
the funny thing is, I did one book signing and I was out for 3 days.
That's why I asked, because I'm like, I know. That's why I asked, because it's taxing.
So I am going to do as much as I can. I definitely look forward to connecting with people. I definitely look forward in educating and teaching. And
Even if it's once a quarter, because this is not, like this is the kind of book that exists forever, But like places like the Lit Bar in the Bronx, Mahogany Books in DC,
yes,
Bookshop, and Mark Lamont Hill's
yes,
shop, Uncle
yes,
Bobby's in Philly,
yes,
Garden Books in New Orleans.
yes.
Like you should
Like,
be
like Amanda is putting together my book tour. Yay!
If you don't have connects to all these people, I can do that.
I definitely do not.
Well, that's okay. So that's happening today. Merry Christmas.
And Alicia, I think that is a beautiful thing. I think that traveling and seeing the world is definitely an eye opener. I went to Zimbabwe and I was standing on a mountain in Zimbabwe and I was like, wow, there's a world out here.
Right.
Was
that your first time to Africa?
Zimbabwe was not my first time to Africa. I lived 3 lives, one as my mother's child, the young Panamanian Afro-Latina girl going to Panama every summer and South Carolina to my father's space. And then I became the freedom fighter, right? And so I was all over the world. I've been to Cuba. I've been to the United Nations in Geneva, Switzerland, making interventions on behalf of Black and Brown young people in America and how we were living in this notorious prison industrial complex, right? And so which got the tribunal on the prisons here and found to be just what it is and still is. And then I was the violence prevention lady.
Yes. That's how I met you.
With all the young people in my car driving all around. And I think you were first at the MTV, right?
Yep.
Yes. And we used to bring the kids. And then I started doing the peace work because, contrary to what that young lady said, nobody wants to support stopping gun violence in Black and Brown communities. And so we had to tell them, like, support peace, right?
Right. You have to change the...
Yes. So that they can, because you can't, that's the other side of the equation, right? We be about this, but we don't be about funding our revolution, right? Most of the folks die, broke. They die broke and committed to the struggle, right? And I remember talking with Afeni Shakur, rest her soul, and she told me, etc., that we under no circumstances can die broke, right?
I literally feel like I went to Hollywood. I didn't know this at the time, but I feel like I was brought there to get my bread so that in my third life,
Yes.
I don't have to have that on my head in
Yes.
order to be able to work with the people, the people.
Yes.
Because I'm in my third life. I just entered it.
Yes. Yes. Me too. I'm the peace doctor.
Well, Erica, you know, you are a vision, and I would love to, you know what I want to hear? I want to hear what were you like in school?
In school, good question. That is the best question you could ever ask in the United States of America, because most of those teachers on your thing, and probably all over the world, have people like Erica Ford in their class.
Okay.
And you know what they're saying? You talk too much. You disrupt the class. You talk too much. You disrupt the class. My entire schooling was you talk too much. You disrupt the class. And so, but what it was is they didn't know how to cultivate my greatness, because here I am speaking for a living, right? Disrupting for a living.
Right.
Right. And so instead, it became a punishment. Literally, they beat me. So I was corporal. I went to Catholic school. And so they used to have me stand my hands out like this meant something different then. And if you drop your hand, they hit you with a ruler and made your hand go back up. Or you have to stand like this with your finger on your nose and your leg up, and you couldn't drop. I was brutalized. And so when you talk about the angry peacemaker, because you know Deepak Chopra coined me the angry peacemaker. I was going to make kids find peace.
Casual flex. You know, Deepak Chopra coined me as the casual flexes.
And so the other day I was like, why don't you like church? Why don't you like, you know, this whole system, right? And it's because I was brutalized from before I was even able to live, right? My father was killed, and I'm sitting there as a 3-year-old, not knowing what I'm supposed to do. And then I go into these schools and I'm brutalized again, right? And then I try to fight for freedom for our people, and I'm brutalized again, right? And so every time I went to take a step towards freedom, I was brutalized, right? And freedom in school, when you talk about school, right, we're supposed to be just free to learn, to engage, but we're not. We're not. We're like prisoners in a camp, you know. And the worst thing we are is not educated.
Well, that's the other part. You know, I feel like that's where I feel my third life is to be committed to educating. Yes. So
I agree.
Doing that through this show. And let me just also tell y'all, at one point in time during my second life, it was Ms. Erica Ford who said to me, Amanda, you are the bullhorn.
Yes.
You don't need to be the organizer, because that's not what you do. You're the bullhorn. You yell and say all the things that point in the direction of the work that we're doing as organizers. And that gave me so much peace.
Yes.
That was the medicine I needed, because at that time I was really feeling very conflicted, because it was like, I know that we need to be fighting, but I'm also here in this part of the world of entertainment, et cetera, et cetera. And I know that I'm really good at this. So like, I really should be doing this. And when you spoke into me in that way, it just really let me know, like, okay, mission driven. Like, it gave me very clear directives. And so now in this third part of my life, where it just feels like we are seeing so clearly the effort to suppress and oppress any level of knowledge, of integrity, of intellectualism, even in seeing people who I know consider themselves to be for the people telling me, you talking too much.
Right. Because it's disrupting something that they might need at that time.
That was a lot. That sentence right there Said a lot about a lot of people. I'm going to give you the stage. Please tell the folks what they need to know about the Peace Doctors Playbook.
Well, they need to buy the Peace Doctors Playbook and buy it for your children, buy it for your family. Let's continue the legacy of all of our ancestors who said there's a way, right? And so there is a way, and we have the key to that way. And so let's begin to stand together. Let's tap into the playbook. Let's win this championship, and let's bring home the freedom that we all need. Peace.
I appreciate that you made a sports reference while you're wearing a jersey.
And not only a jersey, of the worst team in the world as it relates. Right? Like, I'm very clear. I do have on the worst team as it relates to our freedom and oppression. But
before you go, someone asked who's distributing the book.
Erica Ford, the Peace Doctor publication. So I'm not only an author, I am
Yes, that is our favorite. You know, when we talk, okay, last thing, when we talk about consumerism, y'all, I am not talking about buying from Black companies that are rooted in Black culture. So let me be clear, that are rooted in Black culture, not that are simply rooted in Black consumerism. There's a difference.
Yes.
Black consumerism, and I'm going to talk about this during my next segment that closes the show, Why Kwanzaa Matters. But Black consumerism is just slapping Black on it.
Yes.
Even if you're a Black person, just slapping Black on it and being like, buy this because it says Black. Yes. That is not a representation of Black culture. Black culture is when the actual item gives back.
Yes.
It fills a void. Yes. It elevates and it empowers. And so ask yourself that before you just buy something because it say Black.
Yeah.
And
when you buy the Peace Doctors Playbook, like, it's $37, $1 for every year that I've been dedicated to the movement. Right? If I'm not worth $1 for every year that I sacrificed, and can't even say sacrifice because this is my life, right? You know, and I worked with Tupac to create something called a code, right? And we got to have a code, right? We got to have a way that we live. And in order to do that, you got to have plays. You got to have a something you're following to transform your life. And then you got to invest in it, right? And so the book, yes, is to spread the knowledge, is to get the resources, because we have to take care of ourselves, because we're not going to, you know, they're not going to fund us out of freedom for our freedom. They're not.
Yeah, they're not.
No. So
well, thank you as always. It's always a pleasure to break bread with you, to talk to you, to learn from you. Y'all know what to do. Go and get the Peace Doctors Playbook at barnesandnoble.com. And remember, Tupac cares.
Tupac cares.
Everybody else care. Erica, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to get my copy, and then I'm going to bring it to you to sign.
Yes.
All
and
right.
if people are confused, they can just go to ericaford.org and pick it up.
Hold on. Let me just put that up here real quick. They can go to ericaford.org.
Yes.
All right. ericaford.org. All right. You enjoy the rest of your day, and we will be connecting, because I will be connecting you to all those folks for the book tour.
Thank you. Enjoy. Peace.
Peace. Amazing. That's what's happening here at Views from AmandaLand, y'all. And you know what? I feel like it's time that we do this. Hey. Show your love. Show your love. Show your love. Show your love. I said, hit me in the Cash App, baby. Passing the offering tray, yeah. Show me some love for doing the show. Whoa. Show me some love for making it glow. Whoa. Yeah, go to ericaford.org. Ooh, wee. Yeah. This is why when people be like, Amanda Seals is serious and uptight, I be like,
AmandaLand.